Hi all, welcome to the Off the Post podcast. Finally get back and running with this routine again because I want to get back talking about football. It's what I know, it's what I like to have a bit of fun with, and to be honest, football is something I've inside. I feel like I know inside and out. But if you especially like to be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at G is a Legend. All links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always, folks. Comment down below, for you, the one transfer that's kind of been a big difference for your team, one transfer that you would have liked to have seen, and one transfer that you've not been so keen on for, say, your team. So if, say, a player's left, you're like, oh, I wish they never left, kind of attitude, because every team's probably have that experience, regardless if you're a big team, a small team, or a middle team. But for me, what I would say, this transfer window hasn't been the most exciting. We all know that. January doesn't usually always produce the goods, but there's been the theme that I've seen a lot of is a lot of like loan and like free transfers kind of kicking in. Not too many big like individual transfers, especially over like the last 24, 48 hours. For me, the one transfer that I find quite interesting, I only seen this morning when I was going through the transfer news, was Gabriel Boschilla, the attacking mid for Monaco. He only joined from like Nantes in the summer, hasn't really played much, and he's now went to Brazil. I was like, really? This guy's like looks a half decent player, and he went for big money to Monaco from Nantes, and I thought, well, why has he kind of left them? But it is what it is. Another annoying transfer that I find hilarious that's happened is Carlito Lopez, or Carlitos, the guy used to play for Legia Warsaw and Wisla Krakow. He was scoring goals for fun, and he went from Poland to the UAE League, and he's now suddenly went to Greece on a free transfer. I'm like, what on earth? Like, what is this part? It makes no sense. Like, the guy who only joined like the team in like the UAE League like a couple of months ago, if he was lucky. I thought, what is going on there? And then obviously like Politano's went to Napoli. From a FIFA view, that would be interesting. See how that one plays out. And I know for a lot of people, like Christian Eriksen to Inter, Barbosa's now confirmed to Flamengo. I thought with how well he'd been playing in Flamengo, I thought, I wonder if he might come back to Europe for another team, like maybe get another run at Inter or whoever, and it's not happened, because I honestly feel the way he played for Flamengo last season was unbelievable, that I thought this might make a few people decide to be like, let's go for this guy, and it's not happened. Another interesting transfer is obviously Hatem Ben Arfa went to Valladolid. That's 51% owned by what's his name, Ronaldo. Toussaint's an interesting one. I didn't realise he wasn't at Lyon. Like, for what I've seen in, like, he went from Hertha Berlin to Lyon. I could have sworn it would have been the other way about, but apparently it's not. So it shows what I know. But some half decent transfers, like, and I would say there's obviously still a couple. Obviously Friday is incoming very, very fast, but at the same time you've got to remember that the big teams, especially, want to kind of get the deals in. And I've just realised I've now read over my notes to do with Toussaint. He went to Berlin for 22 million, and Hertha's trying to do serious business. They're trying to get Piatek in. There's like other players that they're trying to buy. It's kind of crazy. Like, so fair play to them. Like, try to do all this serious kind of business. It's like wherever they've got this money from, like, fair play to them, because you kind of need to get these transfers in, because they aren't performing as great as they would like. But it's going to be, if they want to stay up, this is what they've got to do. And like Leeds, for example, Jean-Kevin Augustin, he's been one player I thought was going to kick on as a forward. It hasn't quite yet, and now he's at Leeds. I think he could do some good damage for Leeds, so he'll be a transfer that we'll be keeping an eye on. But obviously not just the like big leagues, like from a Scottish view, For myself, from a Hibs perspective, we're obviously like looking at players, and like I know we're looking at McGeady, we're looking at Kevin Nisbet from Dunfermline, and it's difficult to kind of convince the teams that are trying to stay up to justify selling like their players to us, because they'll be like, oh, I'm not selling my player to you, it's not going to happen. And like, you can understand why, because they want to kind of they won't ever try and stay up or whatever they may be. And like Celtic and Rangers are obviously trying to do their business. Celtic have obviously bought Sorrow in, and they've bought Klimala, and obviously we got Omeniga in. Hearts done an interesting bit of business with Advilaj. I didn't expect that one. And obviously the loans and transfers that we had of like Vela and Maxwell, they ended. Ollie Shaw £100,000 to Ross County. Glenn Whelan, obviously he was a surprising one. He went from Hearts to Fleetwood. Obviously they got rid of him. Glenn Whelan definitely a solid option, but there's not been much business in Scotland compared to like other leagues, which is what I find interesting, because usually Scotland's more proactive in doing a number of transfers, and it's just not happened yet. But obviously everything still just takes time, of course, and it's going to be just a case of wait and see, and a case of let's see what happens from there. For me personally, for the transfers that I've seen, the ones that kind of excite me are obviously Haaland to Dortmund. That was a good bit of business. I would then say Dani Olmo. I didn't expect him to go to Leipzig personally. I thought he might have stayed to the summer with them, and then with Zagreb, and then maybe moved to like Leipzig or whoever. But Leipzig are obviously meaning serious business if they're trying to buy him in now. Like Weigl to Benfica's another interesting one. And obviously Cutrones went to Fiorentina. He's kind of it's not happened for him. Then En-Nesyri from Leganés to Sevilla was an interesting bit of business. Like, that just kind of sums up like Leganés. They just kind of yes, they need the money, but they're kind of losing all their goals. So it is what it is. Odriozola, another interesting bit of business. Toko Akambi, after a good month with the team there, didn't expect that to happen. And then obviously Kuvalevski's kind of the man. Him and Lo Celso, well, technically Lo Celso and Kuvalevski kind of own the biggest kind of transfers of like the summer, the winter even. Like obviously Lo Celso was a loan transfer in the summer to Spurs from Betis, and obviously he's got the kind of made the kind of transfer like official now, so it's kind of serious money that they've thrown into it. And when you think about it as well, some of the bigger teams as well have had like players where they've been at, say, a team in the summer and are now at like another team so quickly. Like De Boer, for example, he obviously was at Salzburg. He went from Salzburg to Sevilla, and now he's at Hoffenheim. That's pretty like quick turnover. Like, it's like saying to yourself, what on earth happened there to kind of justify that? But it is what it is, and it's like how the teams kind of adapt and get on with it. Like, there's been some real, like, when you look at kind of deep down at some of the transfers that have kind of occurred, like for me, Aramui, 5 million, that's kind of like good business from Brighton to kind of confirm that transfer. And then, as we said with Hertha, they've like Escobar from Stuttgart for 10 million pounds. That's like serious business, and like that's what Hertha Berlin, for me, are trying to do. Like what a few teams are trying to do is like buy players in to kind of like be like, right, we need to either stay up or maybe challenge for Europe. Like, what do we need to do? And this is where they're trying to be serious in that kind of transfer element, and where it pays off or not is a different matter. And it's going to be difficult for some of the teams like Napoli or another one. They've with Politano, Randrami and them, just like 3 alone that they've brought in. You say to yourself, Gattuso's trying to be serious with the transfers, but at the same time, yes, the team's not performing to the capabilities that's expected of them, but are these 3 transfers alone necessarily going to help the team get back to where they've been commonly been for about the last 5-6 seasons, where they were challenging like the top 4, challenging for the title under Sarri, and like yes, there was an expectation when Ancelotti came in that was going to happen. Yes, it didn't quite go as expected, but it's going to be difficult for teams like Napoli, like Hertha Berlin, where they're maybe used to being a little bit higher up the table and it's not quite clicking. And then obviously you've got your teams in other leagues like Norwich and Aston Villa. They're trying to do business to bring players in on loan or permanent. Like Aston Villa's obviously Samata, Norwich brought in like Duda, and it's how these teams kind of operate. It's not just operate, but it's how they kind of kick on and say, right, let's make this happen and try and get up the table to kind of save ourselves basically. And it's not going to be easy. Like the most interesting another interesting transfer that when I was doing my digging around at recent transfers was Zuet of PSV. He went to Utrecht on loan. I always thought he was like one of the best goalies in the league, and for him to go to Utrecht is like some fine business by them. Like that is really fine business. So fair play to Utrecht on doing it. But it's going to be fun and games, folks. Like, look, see how a lot of these transfers play out. Long way to go still, and even though it's only like pretty much 2 days to go, but we will see how things play out and then just take it from there in terms of transfers. But let me know, folks, in the comments down below, like what transfers have stood out for you that impressed you in this transfer window, and if so, is there any that may kind of happen that you think your team or your league might see an improvement? Because like I think there's still some good transfers to happen, but time will tell, of course. And I meant to say as well with Randrami, he's kind of and I meant to say when I mentioned the Napoli point was that he actually went back to Hellas Verona, back to the team on loan, which was quite interesting. So it kind of shows that Napoli aren't quite ready for needing him yet, but we'll see how it plays out. But hopefully you find this quite a bit fun, folks, talking about transfers and leagues and cups and so forth. Get back into this routine again, and that's kind of what we want. But hopefully you find this useful, folks. Let me know, as I said, what transfers you would like to see happen. Take it easy all. Thanks for watching. Smash like as always. Take it easy all, and I will catch you all later.